Hi, this is Fabian from Physio by Design, and in this session we're going to progress to more weighted exercises for the shoulders and postural exercises. So I tend to find that if you can get that weight bear through the shoulders, it's just a lot easier. You get more muscle activation and it's just a bit easier to do. Remembering, if you get any pain or irritation, just stop and have a rest. So high frequency, low duration. Alright, so what we can do is just basically getting into a 4-point kneel on the ground. So you want the hips, the knees underneath hips, the hands underneath shoulders. And what I want you to do is just, again, stabilise those shoulders by just bringing them down gently and just back. As a result, when those shoulders come back, you tend to arch the lower back, so drawing that pelvis, or sorry, that belly button and holding in that core to stabilise you. We're going to just hold in this position and we can get a bit of a stretch, so we can do the cat stretch, pushing the hands down into the ground and then just slowly getting that arch up into the upper back, so you're getting a stretch in the shoulder blades. So this is a bit of a self-mobiliser. You can hold it if you like for a couple seconds, just to get a stretch, or otherwise if it feels a bit too irritable, then you can just do little movements, so you can just go between the two positions, so then arching your lower back and getting that arch in the upper back. You'll feel those shoulder blades compress. Just going through the motions, getting loose, getting that movement, feeling those muscles controlling in the shoulders. Alright, when you start to feel that movement and it feels free, just getting into that neutral posture again, so drawing in the shoulder blades just to stabilise. You don't have to jam them up really hard, but just nice and gentle. Drawing in that belly button. And we can do some bird dogs, so we're just going to lift the opposite arm, opposite leg up and extend out. Slowly back in. Now at the moment I'm not going to go too hard with the technique of it, so drawing in the belly button, not twisting too much. At this point in time, I just want you to go through the motions and just feel that, put most of your weight through the arm to stabilise the shoulder. If you're getting some dropping, that's okay, just don't spend as long doing it, and we'll work on that as we progress. But we're going to extend out and try to hold. If you're not strong enough to do this, then just do the one arm. And then you can start to work on the legs. Okay. Good. The next exercise, we can just do a very gentle elliptical push-up. So what you want to do is put that weight on the hands, keeping that posture, so just stabilise the shoulder blades into the ribs. We're going to just come back slightly, so we're just going to pull back with the knees, gently bend the elbows, drawing in the belly button, coming through, so shooting through as far forward as you can and then coming up. So we're just going to keep on going around in this little bit of movement. So to make it easier, you're just dropping down ever so slightly in a small little elliptical motion, but to make it harder, what you want to do is sort of come down as close to the ground as possible, shooting through as far as you can and then coming up. It's going to work on those triceps, so these muscles in through here. It's also going to control your core and your shoulder blades. Other exercises we can do, coming up into a push-up position. Again, stabilising yourself, shoulders down and back. We're just going to go forwards and backwards. So you're kind of doing calf raises with your toe, or with your ankle obviously. Keeping those shoulders back. Then we can go side to side. Now this one can irritate the shoulders, so just going as far as you can go. Then we combine the two movements by going around in circles. Back the other way. Having rests. So it is pretty hard, it is quite an intense exercise, so having lots of little rest periods, you'll find 10-20 seconds is quite enough. and then have a little rest and then go back into it. To progress that exercise, you can go down into a bit more of a push-up. So going down into a push-up and going forward and back, side to side, and around in circles. It's much harder. If you've got a step or something to hold arm to come up on, that is quite a nice little exercise as well. So I've just got a ball. So you can do it on the knees by just coming up and down, forwards, backwards, but to make it harder, up onto the toes. And that makes it quite a difficult exercise as well. So whether you've got a ball or a step, the step obviously is going to be much easier than the ball work. They'll work quite nicely. Alright, so the last exercise is the modified Hindi push-up. This is quite an intense exercise, so again, just a couple. It's just going through the motions. You're going to come up onto your toes, hands underneath, well, sort of quite high up. We're going to dip down, so come down with your head just, your nose as close to the ground, and then we're going to shoot through and arch up, holding in that position. So think about it as if you're trying to get under a barbed wire fence. We're going to come out of that position, so we're going to come down, shoot that bottom through, and it's kind of a shoulder press to come back up. We're going to do that again. So for those who find it a little bit too difficult, just a small little movement, again like the elliptical push-up. I'm just going to do small amount up into that position. But as you want to make it a bit harder, we scoop down as far as we can go and arch. I like to hold it there because generally speaking the lower back don't get enough work down the lower back in the extension. Feels quite nice. And then we shoot all the way through. Now that's quite a good little arm workout. Makes me puff as it is, so something to work on. Again, if you have any pain, don't go through it. Just pick a couple of these exercises throughout the day, or every second or third day, and interweave it with the elastic band exercises, and that works quite nicely. If you have any concerns, please modify again. But again, if you have any pain, stop, and we can discuss it in your next session. Good work.